Welcome back, Nerd Squad. There are lots of hot female superheroes out there, because comics. I mean, let's be honest, in the world of comics, almost every character is hot. Almost. But most female superheroes we come across are some level of hot or cute, so it's unsurprising to discover that there are also alternate universes filled with equally hot versions of them, and in some cases even hotter versions. Today we are going to be taking a closer look at some of the hottest female supers and their sexy alternates, as we count down the top 10 hottest alternate female superheroes. And be sure to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10, Red Queen. This is an alternate version of Psylocke from Earth 811, the alternate universe belonging to Days of Future Past. In this reality, Psylocke became one of the baddies, and boy, does bad look good on her. Psylocke ended up joining the Hellfire Club and becoming their Red Queen. She has dark painted nails, a sick cape, and some really awesome thigh-high boots that look like they might be built into her costume. I am a sucker for really nice thigh-high boots. She wears a metal bikini over a seemingly sheer red bodysuit. She also appears to wear war paint or have gotten an epic red face tattoo, one or the other. Wolverine ends up defeating this version of Psylocke and handing her over to her brother, Brian Braddock, aka Captain Britain, in hopes that he can help to redeem her. Number 9, Flashpoint Satana. This version of Satana Zatara comes to us from the Flashpoint universe. In this reality, Satana looks like a hardcore biker chick. She has an arm sleeve tattoo and sports some very low-rise leather pants, and wears a leather vest over what appears to be a leather bikini top. Her hair is shorter, her nails are painted dark, and she wears a black choker. She also drives a motorcycle. Sadly, as badass as she looks in this reality, she still ends up defeated and dead after a fight with Enchantress. Number 8, Black Cat Clone. Most video games featuring Black Cat do not disappoint when it comes to highlighting just how seductive Black Cat is, and the clone version of Felicia from the game Spider-Man: Edge of Time is no exception. This version of Felicia is a clone created by Alchemax using the combined DNA of a few different people and creatures, including Felicia herself, cats, Tigra, and the Vanisher. This made Felicia even more powerful, which really only added to her allure as a character. This clone's version had improved fighting skills and could also teleport. And as always, she also has tons of great sexy lines in the game. Peter even admits that this version of Black Cat is better than the original, in his personal opinion. Number 7, Flashpoint Starfire. Not everyone may love the idea of Starfire being a villain, but you can't deny that being bad looks good on Starfire. In the Flashpoint timeline, Corey joined Wonder Woman's army as one of her female Furies. This version of Starfire features a similar look to her main timeline counterpart. She is one of those weird 90s looking face and hair pieces that I love so much. I don't know why I love them, because I feel like in reality they would really look terrible on people. She is also covered in a costume that defies logic, featuring just swirls of purple flame to cover her. And she is also wearing some seriously amazing thigh-high boots. In this reality, her and Dick Grayson end up against one another, and a trap that he lays results in her death. Number 6, Old Lady Frost. In the Old Man Logan universe, Emma Frost makes an appearance looking like she hasn't aged a day. This is of course due to her telepathic abilities, which allow her to appear youthful and stunning in others' minds, even in her old age. The idea of eternal youth and beauty while also continuously getting wiser and smarter is not only super Emma Frost, but also just, I think, appealing to most people. And you might be wondering, what happens though when Emma is faced with a mind that she possibly can't manipulate with her powers? In the Old Man Logan universe, that will actually likely never happen, due to the fact that Emma Frost in this reality is known as being the most powerful telepath remaining on Earth. Number 5, Mangaverse Black Cat. So I know that Black Cat isn't exactly a superhero all the time, and is more like DC's Catwoman, in the sense that she walks a fine line most days between being good and being bad. But if we are talking hottest female alternates, then she needs to get mentioned, because she has some of the hottest female alternates. Black Cat also does tend to walk the road of being a hero more often than a villain as well, I would argue. Her Mangaverse version is by far one of the hottest, just based on her costume alone. This version of Felicia from Mangaverse's Earth 2301 also seems to genuinely care more about Mary Jane than her 616 counterpart. She expressed concern for MJ's well-being, despite also competing with her for Peter's affection. Still, this reality almost implies more of a love triangle between the three of them than a straight competition for who gets Spider-Man. Number 4, Nubia. Nubia is the alternate Wonder Woman from Earth 23, the same Earth as Calvin Ellis's Superman. There are a few different versions that are super hot when it comes to Wonder Woman, who herself is just a stunner, and Nubia is definitely one of them. Not only is she as noble and good as her main continuity counterpart, working with her Earth's Justice League, but her costume is also killer. I personally especially love how strong she looks and love her sporting her metallic armored costume, complete with a silver metal chest piece / belt with built-in abs. Nothing says sexy like silver metal abs. Number 3, Red Cat. The Red Cat is sort of a hybrid of Black Widow and Felicia Hardy, or really more Nat and Black Cat's clothing and role, which gives us the Red Cat. Now, I don't know about you, but I personally think Natasha and Felicia are a couple of the hottest ladies in the Marvel Universe, so this one definitely had to make my cut. This reality-warped version comes to us from the short 4-part series Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality, and pits Peter Parker in the symbiote suit, Red Cat, and no longer Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, against the new villainous Sorcerer Supreme, Hobgoblin. Number 2, Revenant Storm. There are so many hot alternate versions of Storm out there. Even her anti-self, her Mumadrai or Revenant version is sexy. This version of Storm was brought out in Uncanny X-Force Volume 2 after the Revenants, under leadership of their queen, Cassandra Nova, used a serum to revive the Mumadrai of the X-Force team members within them. Psylocke, Puck, and Storm within them. This version of Storm keeps her long white mane of hair but also sports horns on her headpiece. Her costume is similar to her original costume, but with lots of dangly fang accessories. She also has a body chain attached to part of her chest piece. I am such a sucker for darker takes on classic characters and body chains. Body chains are cool. Number 1, Power Girl. So, I'm not about to talk about Earth 2 Power Girl here because that seems a little weird and wrong. Although many people think of Power Girl as an alternate version of Supergirl, she really is her own character. Now, of course, the continuity in DC can be very confusing because of all of the resets we've seen and had. But basically, just know that Earth 2, where Power Girl is from, is kind of like the home for the classic versions of superheroes, as established in 1961's Flash Volume 1, Issue 123. Like Jay Garrick's Flash, Alan Scott's Green Lantern, old school Batman and Superman, so to call Power Girl an alternate doesn't really do her justice. Which is why I'm going to talk here about one of her own hottest alternates from the series, Justice League The Nail. Power Girl is one of the hottest characters in the comic book world, so of course I could not leave her out of this list. This alternate version has a similar look to Power Girl when it comes to her costume and aesthetic, but with just a few little alterations making her costume a touch more racy. Now, I have always loved Power Girl's look because I feel like she is just so unashamed of her body, of what others think of the way that she dresses. That confidence that she exudes makes her one of the most sexy and attractive supers out there. Nothing looks sexier on a person than confidence. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed exploring some of the sexier alternate versions of some of your favorite fiery female superheroes. Which female superhero do you think is the hottest? What alternate universe do you think is the sexiest? Which female supers would you like to see more alternates of? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments for one of our latest videos, Top 10 Hottest Female Superheroes Powers We Don't Understand. Same are in comments. Speaking of Satana, I would love to see you do a cosplay of her. Satana is such a hottie. I would be honored to do a cosplay of her. I'm currently working on building a Goblin Queen cosplay and then a Vampirella one, but I might have Satana added to my short list. I've also always wanted to do a Scarlet Witch cosplay, but which dark-haired magic user should I make a priority is the question. Mary McCabe shares, I've always found Wanda's powers to be very confusing. Does she cause chaos? Does she do magic spells? Or do her magic spells always cause chaos? I know, right? As Catherine Combs also replied down in the comments, I think a lot of it has to do with the inconsistency with which she is written. It really depends on who's writing her and when exactly in her character's history that you're reading her as to how her powers are written and explained. They kind of just go all over the place in terms of how they work and how powerful they are or how weak they are. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and your feels responded to in a future list. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay nerdy, YouTube. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments for one of our latest videos, Top 10 Hottest Female Superheroes. Top 10 Hottest Female Superhero Powers. Alright, take number a million feels like. Here we go.